Thanks very much indeed. It's great to see so many people here today. Greetings from CND to this conference, and indeed to all those who stand together against austerity, war and nuclear weapons. When the Tory-led coalition government came to power in 2010 and began to introduce the programme, they had a catchy little slogan that they were very fond of. They used to say, "We're all in it together." And I think never has a government statement so rapidly been exposed for the criminal lie that it really was. I think since then we are all absolutely aware that austerity is not about paying down the deficit. It is an ideological policy driven by our governments. It's about the redistribution of wealth from the poor to the rich, and make no mistake, the rich have never been richer, and it's about smashing our welfare state. We're all suffering the consequences, and we all see those consequences every day. And we know full well from our own knowledge and experience, there is plenty of money. There is plenty of money. The question is, whose priorities is that money used to meet? How is it that every time the government wants to spend money on war, on missiles, on nuclear weapons, suddenly there's a bottomless pit? They can find that money. Take the question of Trident, Britain's nuclear weapons system, which our government wishes to replace. For some years now, CND has been saying this will cost over £100 billion. We think this money should be spent on jobs, on education, on the NHS. Well, I tell you what, 2 weeks ago, the Tory chair of the Foreign Affairs Committee said, actually, CND's got a rather conservative figure. It's actually more like 167 billion. And we know that next week, when the government publishes its Strategic Defence and Security Review, so-called, they will announce that the figure for making the subs has gone up from 25 billion to 40 billion, never mind the costs of the lifetime of that system. So it's an exponentially growing amount. But we have an absolutely unique opportunity to stop Trident. Many of you will be aware of it. I can see a friend in the audience with an NHS Not Trident t-shirt on, one of our most popular slogans ever, because that is the kind of priorities that we want to see. We have a unique opportunity to stop Trident. There is a parliamentary vote next year on whether or not it should be replaced. So the timing is right for us. Public opinion is in its majority against, from all walks of life, even from the military. They know that it makes no sense. And of course, we have the extra special, unique factor that we all know and love. We have Jeremy Corbyn as leader of the Labour Party. He has a massive mandate for his leadership, and we can be in no doubt. I'm sure we all saw those meetings. We were either at them in his campaign or we watched them on the internet. Every single meeting, an overwhelming support for Jeremy's anti-Trident policy. There is no doubt he has that mandate in the Labour Party and across society. I welcome the fact that that debate is now taking place within the Labour Party, that Jeremy has announced the review of party policy. And I have no doubt that if that review is open and democratic and fair, and I'm sure it will be, that the Labour Party will choose to reject Trident nuclear weapons. We've already seen the fantastic development in Scotland, where the Scottish Labour Party voted 70 to 30 to scrap Trident. And that was across both the constituency section and the trade union section as well, 70% opposition. And I am confident that that same position can be reflected in the rest of the United Kingdom. Now, sometimes people say, of course we don't like nuclear weapons, but what about the jobs? Well, people who work in that sector, yes, they have legitimate concerns, But I say to you, if you hear people raising that issue, tell them to look at Jeremy Corbyn's defence diversification policy and his commitment to set up a defence diversification agency. Not some top-down agency, but something which involves the workforce as well as government and experts in the determination of future investment in skilled jobs, in our industrial sectors and in sustainable industrial jobs. That is what we need, that is what that sector needs, that is what we need for the security of our country, and that is what Jeremy Corbyn will deliver. So I urge you, give Jeremy Corbyn a win on nuclear weapons. Support his anti-Trident position, support the demonstration called by CND on the 27th of February, the Stop Trident demonstration. This will be a victory for Jeremy, it will be a victory for all of us, and a victory for the human race. Thank you.